Hi, I'm Nima from Cure.ai. Today we are lucky to have with us Dr. Hemant Deshmukh. Dr. Deshmukh is the Dean at KEM Hospital, and along with MCGM, that's the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, he has been heading the COVID-19 task force. Cure has been working very closely with MCGM since March of this year, and BMC has been the BMC's healthcare staff has been using Cure.ai's software. And today, Dr. Deshmukh has kindly agreed to speak with us regarding this amidst his busy schedule. So, firstly, thank you so much, Dr. Deshmukh, for making the time today
Thank you.
to speak with us. If you could, from the onset of the pandemic, right, we know BMC has been working very strategically and aggressively towards managing the pandemic in a populated city like ours. So, if you could please take us through what Bombay's strategy has been for COVID management. Because initially, I think there has been a change in strategy along with how we saw the pandemic evolve and understanding it better. So, if you could take us through the strategy and what role do you think AI is playing in managing this or helping the task force managing this?
Good morning, Nima. See, what has happened during the entire pandemic, say we start with 1st of April or 1st of March, back to 2020. So when we really understood that the pandemic is going to take over the entire world, we were a foot forward. We were almost ready with almost analyzing the data which is going to come. We were ready to segregate patients, and the first task at our hand was definitely to segregate passengers who were coming from abroad. Now the movement of people within the city of Mumbai or the movement of people within the state of Maharashtra was to be restricted. So what we started was definitely identified the international terminal, that is the air terminal, and we started quarantining the passengers who were coming from abroad. So the first thing that we realized was the enormous number of passengers that were causing influx within the city of Mumbai. We realized that the normal number of passengers, which were about 18,000 per day, had slowly dwindled down to 11,000, 9,000, 8,000, and over a period of time almost came to a standstill. Now, when we say the number of passengers, that is more than 18,000, coming within 24 hours, we realized there was big data which actually we were trying to gather. Now these passengers were eventually quarantined within the city of Mumbai, but somehow some passengers would always give a slip and escape the stringent rules of quarantine. Now quarantining the passengers to arrest the spread of infection, the potential spreaders, was an enormous task at hand. And the number of interns and doctors and the paramedical staff with the authorities of the airports were very swift in their action. Now, this quarantining the passengers was an enormous task because the number of passengers was huge, and the names of passengers, their addresses, their telephone numbers, we realized that there is big data in store. And somehow we realized that some kind of artificial intelligence or data storing, data management needs to be enforced. Once the entire quarantine facility was over, the entire pandemic started with the detection of first patient in the city of Mumbai. That was in the first week of April. We realized that we needed to segregate people. Now, the amount of data that was being generated by one index person, that is one patient confirmed RT-PCR positive for COVID-19, we needed to trace, we needed to actually identify who were in contact with him or her. So these numbers were almost 1:16. We wanted it to be more than 1:16 because the number of people who are in contact with that index patient is going to actually arrest the spread of infection.
Yeah.
Initially, what happened was the numbers were just 8 or 9 or 4 or the family members, but then we realized that the contact people need to be actually identified, segregated, quarantined, tested, for the presence of COVID-19 infection. And when we realized that the data is going to be enormous, again the entire RT-PCR data was being analyzed by our team in the back office.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely, doctor. I mean, it's been it must have been very challenging at that point to evolve your
Yes.
strategy and make sure it's relevant with how the pandemic was evolving. So
Yes.
we spoke about identifying cases, suspects, testing them, and now as the cases are rising, there is a gradual shift towards more patient care management. So how do you think engaging with AI, especially from a chest X-ray perspective, has helped you in the process? Because initially, I know we were using it for triaging, because test kits were limiting at that point, the RT-PCR kits. So how do you think chest X-rays have helped in that effect? And now, since we are moving towards a lot of these dedicated critical care centers, the jumbo centers that are in the city, how are we using it for patient monitoring there? If you can help on how AI is really benefiting and helping
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So the initial pandemic was we thought, just gathering, segregating patients and quarantine, having facilities for quarantine is going to help us. But then we realized that there is something new in store. The number of patients started increasing, and we realized that RT-PCR or getting the kit itself, the equipment itself was going to be difficult. So the number of tests that we were doing per day was so abysmally low that we thought of doing X-ray chest. In a better way, we should think that we were trying to do more of computerized radiography, and eventually we realized within a month that digital radiography is going to be of immense help, because the number of patients that are going to drop in is going to be huge. So digital X-ray gave us a huge advantage in the sense they were fast, they were quick. We could deploy it in a portable fashion to wherever the patient population was. And these digital X-rays were much more easier for us to download and upload onto an AI platform. When we thought of an AI platform, we realized that each and every X-ray test that we are going to do of a suspect, of a quarantine patient, of a symptomatic patient is going to be enormous. And the need for reading an X-ray test for the presence of COVID-19 infection or the possibility of a quarantined patient or a suspect patient being COVID positive was going to be very high, purely based on the findings on an X-ray chest or a CT scan of the chest, that is HRCT. Now, when we realize that we are trying to upload the data on an AI platform, the domain expert needs to be there. So we had a ready-made radiologist, who else but a dedicated radiologist, a domain expert, to be on the panel, so that the X-rays which are being uploaded on the data are being analyzed as early as possible. Now, our challenge was the results of RT-PCR were going to come only at the end of 24 hours or within a span of 12 to 24 hours. But the X-ray chest findings are going to be instantaneous. So we realized the very importance of uploading this X-ray chest, digital X-ray chest on the AI platform, and the results were amazing. When we realized that the X-ray chest results were showing presence of COVID, or simply put, we were analyzing and putting them, segregating them, classifying them into various categories of possibilities of COVID-19 on an X-ray chest. This particularly helped us see something like basal consolidation, prominent bronchial markings, or ground glass appearance on the X-ray chest. These were findings which, though the patient was asymptomatic, was very much 100% useful in trying to segregate this patient into a triage area. Now, these patients who were suspect were immediately put on treatment for the simple reason that their X-ray chest showed findings of COVID-19. Their RT-PCR was by and large 70% positive, but we were not going to let these patients go away, because these patients were definitely being diagnosed as either SARI, that is severe acute respiratory infections, or obviously something which is called as ILI. Now, this influenza-like illness or SARI patients were being triaged apart from the RT-PCR positive patients. And you'll be amazed to know that the RT-PCR results in these patients are almost going to be almost 80 to 85% positive. Now, when we segregated these patients of X-ray chest positive, RT-PCR was also going to be positive in most of these patients. Even if the RT-PCR was negative, we were trying to give them supportive therapy, we were trying to give them oxygen therapy, we were trying to give them antibiotics, we were trying to give them steroid, all possible treatment protocols which have been advised by the ICMR. Now, this uploading of images of this X-ray chest and as well as CT scan on artificial intelligence, this gave us an enormous opportunity to segregate patients from the quarantine patients who were totally asymptomatic. Now, we also found that some of these asymptomatic patients, the X-ray chest findings were definitely going to give us a clue. Some of these patients who were asymptomatic were definitely having some kind of basal pneumonia on the digital X-ray chest also.
Okay, that's very interesting to also learn from you, Dr. Deshmukh, because especially in a populous city like Bombay, it becomes very, because people are living at such close quarters also, right? The density is so much.
Yeah.
So identifying those asymptomatics, I'm sure, has been very beneficial to contain the spread to a large extent, if I'm hearing you right.
Right. So when we speak of containment, we actually went a step forward. We deployed portable digital X-ray within the community itself. Now we were chasing the virus. The strategy of the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai was to chase the virus. Now, a densely populated area like Worli Sea Face, where a lot of fishermen stay, and the most densely populated slum, that is Dharavi, the most populated, highly dense population in the entire Asia. So these hotbeds, we were able to identify two enormous findings. One was we actually wanted to chase the virus within the family of the suspects, or within this hotbeds, what we call, and we deployed portable digital X-ray in a van. So we mounted the digital X-rays on a van. We immediately uploaded these images onto AI, and the results were amazing because it gave us an opportunity to quarantine patients who were really sick within the community itself. Now, these patients were really scared to come to the hospital for the simple reason that they felt socially that they would be away from their family. For so many years they were staying with the family, and this pandemic is going to snatch away their family time. So penetrating the slum areas, penetrating the hotbeds was very important. So AI gave us an opportunity to identify the hotbeds. Now AI is also going to tell us whether it's going to be a predictive value, because we realized that wherever we analyze the X-ray chest on AI, we were going to identify hotbeds in other areas of the city also. Now, AI was related to such an extent that the residence of the patients was also being marked. It was red flag. And so patients coming from a particular area, we were able to identify these hotbeds purely on the findings of AI. So this gave us an opportunity to penetrate areas which we were trying to neglect. We were trying to realize that the patients are not coming forward. So sitting at one place, we were able to identify multiple hotbeds within the city of Mumbai, faraway suburbs, apart from Worli as well as Dharavi.
That's excellent to know, Doctor. I mean, we know how tirelessly the entire healthcare system has been working during these very, very trying times. So it's very heartening for us to know that it's been very helpful for you and helped your work at least a little bit in these efforts. Now, if I might ask, Doctor, any challenges that you felt with engaging with AI that you think we should keep in mind for the next time, or generally as the healthcare system starts adopting technology a little bit more, and are opening their arms to it. Anything that you think were a challenge during the entire process that you would like to highlight?
Yeah. If you say that right now there are 5 lakh patients, active cases within the country, I don't think it is possible to upload the data of 5 lakh patients on a single platform, for the simple reason that each and every active case, if he gets X-ray chest, the entire data should be fed onto an AI platform. That data is going to be very enormous. And I think we have partially succeeded within the city of Mumbai, because we were trying to upload the data of as many patients as possible. Now, there are areas where we were not able to upload this data, for the simple reason that there needs to be a lot of cooperation between the treating physician as well as the stakeholders at the AI or the domain expert within this AI platform. So the number of patients that we need to update is going to be enormous. I think we have not achieved 100% data acquisition, and if you are able to upload even 80% data, I think that's going to be huge and enormous data.
Yes, absolutely agree, Dr. Deshmukh. I mean, a large part of these efforts has also been a lot of teamwork and close coordination with multiple stakeholders, so that, as you rightly said, we are able to cover a large chunk of the population that we really want to, and ensure that the benefit trickles down to every single suspect patient individual in the city, so that we are able to use it to the maximum.
Yeah.
So this has been great, Doctor. Thank you so much for sparing your time, because especially as a radiologist during these, heading the task force during these very tough times, we understand how busy you might be. Thank you so much for taking the time. We cannot be grateful enough. Thank you so much. Thanks,
You're welcome, and all the best.